Democratic heavy hitters out on the trail, turning up the hyperbolic rhetoric about America's future if Republicans take control come Tuesday.
This is really deadly earnest, man. Democracy is on the ballot this year, along with your right to choose and the right to privacy.
Then democracy as we know it may not survive in Arizona. That's not an exaggeration. That is a fact.
This country is on track to repeat what happened in Germany when it was the greatest democracy going, elected a chancellor who then co-opted the media.
Oh, that's rich. Should politicians try to turn down the heat with incidents like this happening? The FBI said to be investigating a shooting at a North Carolina home belonging to the parents of Republican congressional candidate Pat Harrigan. It happened last month at a home just north of Charlotte. A suspect firing a single shot through a window. The candidate's children sleeping only a few feet away. Thankfully, no one was injured. No arrests, though, have been made, and the candidate is sounding off on what happened there.
I've received a very credible death threat. This was followed up by my opponent utilizing very poor judgment to actually shoot an ad out in front of one of my homes and display that home for all to see in the world. I mean, in the era of Steve Scalise and Brett Kavanaugh and now Paul Pelosi, my parents are watching TV at 11 o'clock at night, just sitting in their living room, and a bullet cracks through their home only 20 feet away from where my kids were sleeping that night. This is politics at its worst.
So he's running for a seat on the west side of Charlotte. Tough district to win. His favorite for Democrats. We'll see how it goes. A new seat in North Carolina, too. To my partner, Dana. Oh, just because we have not spent enough time yet today together. And there's more coming up, by the way.
I can't
wait. So that's a tease.
There's a lot.
What about going back to Nazi Germany? That's...
It's like well, once you start talking about that, nobody's listening. And the Democrats seem just so upset with every other voter who is not taking things as seriously as they are. You know, they want to talk about January 6th, which was a major issue. It was. And there are people being prosecuted right now. Everybody in the meantime, as they're going to the ballot box, are like, well, we've got crime as an issue. We've got border as an issue. Some people might also want to talk about the fact that they're paying through the nose at the pump. Also found out today, like a lot of people in New England found out their heating bills are going to be 60% higher than they were last year. I mean, all of this is coming fast and furious, and they're mad and saying that, like, the Congress, if it changes from a Democratic majority to a Republican majority, that all of a sudden is Nazi Germany. That's a stretch. But also the other thing is, I guarantee you, if things go the way it looks like they're going to, at least especially in the House, what is President Biden going to say the next day? One, he's going to say, well, it wasn't as bad as it could have been, and I'm so great and everything. Okay, fine. But then he's going to say, but it won't matter because I've got a pen and I've got a phone and I've got the veto power. That's exactly what they're going to say. So how is that tyranny? That's actually democracy.
Good question. To the one-armed bandit over there, listening to that Harrigan story out of North Carolina, it reminds you of Lee Zeldin here in New York.
Yeah,
what happened at his house.
You know, I was watching that, and I was thinking that there are two issues there. There is the hyper-political climate that we're living in with that bullet going through the home. And then there's a crime issue. I would bet my bottom dollar that the person who shot that bullet through the home of Pat Harrigan's family is someone who's got a prior criminal record. You know, and I think it's this perfect storm that we've got of chaos and anarchy in this country where anything goes anymore. And there is no one who's being held accountable. So let's just get up and do what our gut instincts tell us to do. And, you know, Dana, I was thinking as you were speaking, will Joe Biden accept the results of this election? Will he be someone who says, you know what, I accept it? Will he say, you know, I got it wrong? Will he stand up and say, I took a shellacking and, you know, maybe I was on the wrong course? These people, all of them, they're like Chicken Little. The sky is falling. You know, Nazi Germany. Are you kidding? For anyone who is a Jew, that is the worst thing you can say. How can you compare the politics of today to that horrific elimination of Jews in Europe during World War II?
Fair point. A lot of Jews in New York are going for Zeldin.
Yeah.
Watch that story. We'll see how it turns out. Jesse, will you accept the results of this election in 2020?
Yeah, because it's going to be a blowout. It's not going to be close enough to question. So I'm an amateur historian. There was one party that enslaved a race, that started a civil war, that put another race in internment camps, that censors speech, that raids homes, plants evidence and traps, censors speech, accuses other people of being cockroaches. Now, I could call the Democrats Nazis, but I won't, because I choose to show a little bit more restraint than that. And I commend myself for showing such restraint. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Democrats are going to accuse us of next. So Manhattan's not underwater, Al Gore. Blacks are not back in chains, Joe Biden. We're still going to have voting, Barack Obama, and we're not going to be Nazis next year, James. So it's like the boy that cried wolf, and then he cried lion, and then he cried dinosaur, and then he cried Loch Ness Monster. What is worse than being an underwater slave-owning Nazi? I have a feeling we're going to find out.
We shall. President Biden apparently is on the tarmac a moment ago. He's out there campaigning in some districts you probably wouldn't expect. He said, we're going to win this time. I feel really good about our chances. So, sorry,
that's really what he said?
That is what he said a moment ago.
You got me.
It was good to turn it around for you. Harold, what do you think about going back to 1941?
I don't want to go back to 1940. My prayers go out to this young candidate in North Carolina, and I hope we all, which we all have, everybody in politics needs to condemn this. And we've gotten to a point, unfortunately, which everyone has remarked about, where the way you instigate turnout for your own party is to personally castigate the other side. There was a time when you would talk about how your ideas were better and how the opponent's ideas would not make the country stronger and safer and healthier and more whole. Today we say that, and we say the most awful personal things about a person you're running against, which undercuts the whole purpose of serving and working with them, because once the election is over, to your point, Dana, people have to come together. There's a tradition in the country where presidents who get beat say, we got beaten, we got to work together. Clinton did it. Other presidents have had to do it, including President Obama, and they did. Some would argue that perhaps divided government makes it better for things to get done. I'm not necessarily believe the Democrats believe that to be the case this go around. But one thing is for certain. If Republicans get the majority, there will be some people I fervently disagree with, but there'll be a lot of people I hope my party can fervently work with. And I hope the rhetoric, whatever happens next Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday, whenever, if we have runoffs or whatever, when it calms down, everybody's got to make a commitment and say to the country, Jesse, Dana, Bill, One Arm, no one's a bad person. We may differ on things, but we can work together. Otherwise, we're not going to solve any of these problems. Harold. And we said, put down the weapons if you disagree with somebody. This is not a time to be knifing and shooting and fighting people. Fight at the ballot box, not by shooting at someone's home.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.